Hello, 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 everyone. I'm so glad that you could join us. And this is going to be a very interesting and valuable webinar. So I'm glad that you signed up and I'm glad to share this information with you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Ray. I am an acute care physician. I am a CEO, founder of Better Health with Dr. Ray, and I am your gut health champion. I help people win the war of their gut health so that they can have feel good energy every day. So let's get right into the content. So the name of this webinar is Win Your Gut Health because it is a battle. Whether or not you are aware, this is truly a battle. And it is one that we have to win because our health depends upon it. I often tell people when I give this presentation that the gut is located at the center of your body, and that is not a mistake. It absolutely is the center of what is going on with your health, no matter what that is. Before we get too deep into the content, a little housekeeping rules. This is purely educational. This is not to substitute any medical advice that you might receive from your personal physician. Information is for general purposes, and I am not in a patient-physician relationship with anyone participating in this webinar because it would be a huge conflict of interest. So this is gut health information for the masses, but most importantly, for you. But as I said, this is for educational purposes. Do not enact any of these things unless you have recommendations from your personal physician, and we cannot accept any liability for anything that's taken within the context of this webinar. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get on to the info. I will have a special offering at the end of this webinar that you should take advantage of if you're ready to change your gut health now. And I will also give you the information for contacting me in the future. What is gut health? Gut health involves how food is made into energy. We all know that. But did you know that it is responsible for the integrity of your immune system? Yes. 3/4 of your immune system is found or maintained within your gut. So it's not about bowel movements or stool or whatever you want to call that. It is a huge center of your health. And also, too, the gut has now been found to be a very important area of the body for production of brain chemicals such as serotonin and dopamine. And what does that mean? That means that when we take care of our gut, when we get it in order, when we command our gut health, it can literally change our lives. You might be wondering to yourself, is gut health a real thing? Absolutely, it's a real thing. If you go into the medical literature, as I have, you might not find it necessarily as gut health. I think in the more modern times, probably in the last 3 to 5 years, we're starting to talk about more of the gut health. But before, you might have seen it as leaky gut. You might see naturopathic references to that, naturopathic being natural homeopathic remedies. In the general medical literature, you might see it as gut dysbiosis. And we've been recognizing this for a while, but I think we're finally getting on the right track of just how important it is. Health a fad? Absolutely not a fad. As an acute care physician, I've often found that the people with the best gut health have, by default, the best overall health. And you can tell these people, they might not necessarily be the most athletic, they might not necessarily be their perfect body mass index, they might not necessarily um, be what we would think of as healthy, because we might think, okay, well, you have to be skinny to be healthy, which is not true. You can't carry any weight and be healthy, which, in general, yes, carrying extra weight is an issue. But you can still be healthy on the inside while you're working on the outside. And also, too, is gut health important for everyone? Absolutely. It's important for everyone. It is important from the cradle to the grave. And you live a better, healthier quality of life when your gut health is in order. How does gut health affect overall health? Well, some of the things that we're starting to understand that gut health impacts is mental health. Specifically, we're seeing studies that people who have gut health have lower rates and less severity of anxiety. It seems like we are getting more and more people who are dealing with anxiety, and it's manifested in a lot of different ways. It can present itself as headaches, it can present itself as insomnia, it can present itself as gut irregularity, anywhere from diarrhea to constipation, and for some people, going back and forth between those two. So, also, we found that gut health is critical in order to have peak performance brain function. I'll say that again. We are seeing that gut health is important for peak performance brain health. So we're starting to see that people who have poor gut health are at risk for things. We're starting to, see these associations for dementia, for Parkinson's, just for the general brain fog. You know how you walk around, you like, I'm awake, but I don't feel awake. Like my brain's not fully awake. And we just think, oh, that means I need another cup of coffee. That might be your body telling you that it needs some repair in the gut health area. Also, too, we're seeing that some hormone imbalances are linked to poor gut health. And so when we start thinking hormone and imbalance, we automatically usually think of a woman. However, men are dealing with hormone imbalances too. They just don't realize it. And as a matter of fact, we're having higher and higher rates of men who are having issues with fertility because their gut health is not well maintained. And that can affect women also. Weight problems. We might think, oh, a weight problem is a willpower problem. Part of that, but the story. The rest of the story is that for those who have poor gut health and they're overweight, until they their gut health in control, until they their gut health, that their weight loss efforts are usually fruitless. So they might be going to the gym, they might be getting the recommended sleep, they might be getting in all the ounces of filtered, purified water. They might be doing all of the things, really doing all of the things, and not getting any rest as far as body fat loss and maintaining muscle. This is a real thing. It's not imagined, it's not made up. So, what they found in studies with mice is that you can take a normal weight mouse, check the flora, which are the bacteria, good and bad, in the gut flora, and then have an overweight mouse. And what they found is, as they studied these two groups of mice, that the overweight mice, by and large, had a disruption in their gut flora. So when they took the good bacteria from the intestine of the mouse and then implanted it into the overweight mouse, the overweight mice came to be normal weight. Now, I don't know about you, but in the weight loss journey, I'm not really looking forward to having somebody else's bacteria put into my intestine. That's just a U factor for me. But about 7 years ago, that's exactly the recommendation that they were starting to move toward. They were saying that if they took the fecal matter from a normal weight, healthy person and then put it into an overweight person, that the overweight person would then likely wind up with a healthier weight. However, that did not really gain steam. It didn't gain favor because there are not going to be too many people who volunteer for that study. But as they started breaking down the factors of what was happening, there's a particular bacteria, probiotic, called Akkermansia. Akkermansia was found to be deficient in those mice that were overweight and also in human beings. They are lacking in Akkermansia, and it's a very long word. Don't worry, we'll be getting that information to you in the emails that'll be coming shortly. But with Akkermansia, what they found is that people, once they supplemented their gut flora, their bacteria in their intestine with Akkermansia, they started having great results with what they were already doing. Drinking the water, eating clean, whichever way that is, getting their sleep. It amplified the positive results. And who doesn't want that when you're on the health journey, right? Other things that we've seen with poor gut health is poor skin health. Yes, the gut and the skin are very much associated. And so, if you have poor gut health, you can buy whatever cream, whether it be low shelf price or top of the line price. You are not going to get your best skin health unless you have your best gut health. So, poor gut health has been linked to acne, eczema, psoriasis. It is a long litany of things because what your gut doesn't handle, your skin has to. So our skin is yelling to us, hey, get me balanced out. If you get me balanced out, I'll help your skin. So for a lot of people who suffer from acne, which are millions of people who wind up with the scarring and the disfigurement and all of those things, if we can get the gut health in line, they usually will have a better result. Also, to sexual dysfunction, we talked about the fertility and the hormone imbalance, but also sexual dysfunction has been linked to poor gut health. You might have heard of such syndromes as low T syndrome. You might have heard about how some women have imbalances with estrogen, things of that nature. And gut health helps us. It is our first line in all of those things that are needed in healthy sexual health and healthy sexual encounters. And if we don't have that online, it is going to be less than optimal. So that's very important as a human being to have a healthy sexual relationship with your partner. Also, too, what we're seeing is people with poor gut health, you don't have to be overweight. You don't have to have a hormone imbalance. You might not necessarily deal with skin issues, but some people who have poor gut health have higher rates of autoimmune processes. Autoimmune processes such as lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis is also counted in the autoimmune category, but there's a lot of things, including fibromyalgia, chronic headaches. There's a lot of things that go into the autoimmune category. And we're finding that the people who have autoimmune processes, who get better gut health, actually will wind up with better health overall, including with their autoimmune disease. Also, now we're looking more and more at The fact that cancers can be linked to poor gut health, as well as some cutting edge cancer therapies are being helped, helping people survive cancer if they get into good gut health. So you can see from the top to the bottom, from illness to wellness, all of those things are linked to the integrity of your gut health. So you might be saying to yourself, well, just how many people are affected by this poor gut health thing anyway? Maybe I don't have poor gut health. Maybe I have great gut health. I eat clean every day. I make certain I'm getting all my ounces of water. I'm making certain I'm sleeping. I'm doing all the things. So I don't have that. It's been estimated, which is a low side for the estimate. It has been estimated that 70 million Americans have poor gut health. That's Americans. We're not talking about any other country than the United States of America. That means 61% of the population is affected, which breaks down to 3 out of 5 suffer with gut health issues. So that's the majority, like it goes back to the 61%. It has been estimated by the year 2026 that there will be 57 billion, with a B as in boy, $57 billion in sales as we buy things over the counter or cover prescriptions in order to fix our destroyed gut health. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So, what causes poor gut health? There's a lot of things that can cause poor gut health, and it goes beyond the gut. The gut and the brain are very related. We're starting to see that the brain-gut connection is actually the health axis. And by helping these things, the gut, which then helps the brain, and the brain is the command center for the human body, you can have profound benefits, positive benefits for getting your gut health in order. So, what are some of the things that poorly affect gut health? What do you do to get relief? So let's go through the things that can cause poor gut health. Processed foods. Processed foods will affect your gut health negatively. And it's as simple as a bag of chips. It's as simple as a honey bun. It's as simple as a donut or a hamburger from a drive-thru, or even our beloved chicken sandwiches that everybody's been going crazy for. All those are processed foods. Excess sugars will affect our gut health. And you will be surprised by how much sugar we're supposed to have per day. We're supposed to have, for the average woman, we're supposed to have no more than 20 grams of sugar or carbohydrates in a day in order to not have issues with our gut health, not have issues with weight. Men can have up to 40 grams of carbohydrates in a day. The average American gets 120 to 200 grams of sugar / carbohydrates in a day. So from 20 to 40 to 120 to 200, you can see how devastating excess sugar is in our daily lives. And then you compound that week by week, month by month, year by year, and we are losing the battle. Other things that affect our gut health poorly: high stress, dehydration, artificial sweeteners. Those things can poorly affect our gut health. And not only can they poorly affect our gut health, those changes be long lasting unless we're taking some definitive steps to win the gut health battle and maintaining that gut health battle. But it doesn't have to be so complex that it's hard to keep up with or so expensive that it doesn't make sense to maintain it. There are systems to help us get that done. How do you improve your gut health? Foods that are high in fiber, foods that are fermented. So you're talking about your kombucha, as long as it doesn't have high alcohol, you have to be careful with that. Kimchi, sauerkraut are fermented foods. High fiber foods would be actually whole grains. And then you have to be careful of the gluten if you're gluten sensitive. Also, too, garlic and onions are good for your gut health. Magnesium, but you have to be careful with magnesium that it has to be in the right form. Magnesium oxide is best. It's not as harsh on the system, and it can be taken routinely, of course, with your physician's blessing. It can be taken routinely without having too hard of an impact on your gut. And what I'm talking about is you don't want to be running back and forth to the bathroom and interrupting your day because you have that additional magnesium that's going to make your gut health easier to maintain, your good gut health easier to maintain. Collagen. You might have heard a lot about collagen these days. People are getting collagen facials and collagen supplementation and all of those things. But this is the part, it needs to be bioavailable. What does bioavailable mean, Dr. Ray? Well, what that means is this, that what you actually are taking in as that supplement, your body needs to actually use, be able to use. That's called bioavailability, that what you're ingesting, your body can actually use. So it is productive to the end result. So you could be taking some really expensive collagen and not really seeing good results because your body is not seeing that as collagen. So it has to be bioavailable. Probiotics are very good for great gut health. But this is the thing, not all probiotics are created equal, and not all probiotics are quality. And it doesn't need to be in a refrigerator or super expensive to be an excellent probiotic. But some of the probiotics that we're seeing that are super huge and super important for our gut integrity and to have good gut health, lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, I know they say that 5 times fast. And also too, Saccharomyces boulardii. Once again, don't worry. For those of you who are on our email list, you will get this information. Don't worry about it. We'll make certain it is on its way to you. So probiotics such as lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, and Saccharomyces boulardii. When you get that email with those names in it, make certain to take a look, see the positive benefits of it, and then make certain you're getting some in something that is room temperature stable and actually is not going to cost $80 a month, like ridiculously high. Well, $80 per bottle, craziness. Other thing is getting good quality, adequate sleep nightly. Yeah, we're all doing that, right? So you should be getting good quality, adequate sleep, and adequate for your average adult is 7 to 8 hours per night. I know some people who are getting 7 to 8 hours inadequate sleep over a few days. So if you are not getting good quality sleep and you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep, maintaining your gut health is then something that you're going to have to make a conscious decision to pursue. Also, too, it goes back to what we discussed in the core gut health impact, which is minimizing sugar, minimizing processed food, and minimizing inflammatory diet. What's an inflammatory diet? An inflammatory diet is one that is high in refined carbohydrates, high in refined sugar, low in healthy fats, low in fiber. Those are inflammatory diets. So that's what we see when you first get and maintain your good gut health, that those autoimmune processes we were talking about get better, that the acne and skin issues can get better, that the brain fog can get better, because really what's happening is inflammation from stem to stern, from the forward to the aft. I'm all about ships and stuff, so that's a little nautical, but just from the top to the bottom, inflammatory. And also, too, what we're seeing is poor gut health is closely linked with that inflammatory stuff. It's closely linked with heart health. Your heart doesn't want to be inflamed, irritated. Blood sugar regulation, because your pancreas is attacked. The risk of diabetes and anxiety skyrocket when we are on this inflammatory diet, when we're not getting enough fiber, when we're not getting enough of this stuff to maintain our good gut health, then we can wind up with these other health issues. So, what are some of the good gut health benefits? Well, longevity. And you go, well, yeah, that's great. Living longer is wonderful, which, most people want to do, but not just living longer, living better, living better. And that's what drove me to found and establish Better Health with Dr. Ray, because it's not just about a long life, it's about a long life with quality. It's not just quantity, it's also quality. So, what would you want to do now with this information about poor gut health impacts, good gut health impacts, diets and lifestyles that affect your health either positively or negatively? What do we want to do? So, this is one thing you can do. How do you check and see if you have poor gut health? Like we said, 3 of 5 Americans, 61% of the population, 70 million Americans are affected with poor gut health. This is the thing. Check your stool, your poop, the poop, the poop, the poop. Check your poop. So you can see some changes there. Now, of course, you should know what your baseline is, but is your poop pale, pale in color, pale yellow, whitish, chalky looking, greenish, yellow? Have a portion of beets, and then you wait 24 to 48 hours to see how long it takes for that beet color to be seen in your stool or your toilet water. Now, don't be scared, because we kind of talked about the red and the black. No, this is the color of beet. So if you've ever taken and soaked it in water and you kind of see that pigment around the water, that's kind of what you're expecting, but on your stool. If it's longer than 48 hours, really it should be 24, then you know that your gut health is not very good. And also, too, the transit time is much too long. And a long transit time means that your system is toxified. So the train hasn't left the station. All the passengers are just milling around and causing destruction because they have not gone to their destination. Your intestine was not meant to hold on to stool for long periods of time. So that's the beet test. You can make changes. I have a PDF that is free. that I can get to you. It's called 10 Strategies for Restoring Your Gut Health. And it's a very good resource. We will definitely get it to you and share that information with you so that you can understand some changes that you can make now in order to restore and maintain good gut health. Knowledge is most valuable when it has a positive impact on your life. So I hope this webinar has had a positive impact on your knowledge of your gut health and by default, your overall health and how they interact. For those who are on our email list, we will send you a pre-test so that you can look at some things in order to understand what is the status of your gut health. Also, we would like to invite you to join us in our next webinar presentation because this is just the beginning. We will have some special offers in order for you to have a system that helps you command your gut health and make certain that your gut health is optimal. And you might be saying, oh, okay, here's the offer. This is what this whole thing was for. This is the thing. I don't believe that you should know better and not have a way to do better. You can go from organic food store to organic food store, go online, go to your local mom and pop, all of those things, and try to get these ingredients. And I suggest you do make some changes so that your gut health is at its best. This is the thing. You need to be able to maintain it because systems, reliable systems, beat human effort every day of the week. So you want to get yourself into a system. You don't want to have something that's hodgepodge. You don't want something that doesn't have clinical studies behind it. You don't want to get into something that's not going to give you your best results. So that's why I want to offer you these systems that I have been using for well over 5 years. And it has changed my life and my family's life. So you can reach out to us at info@Dr. Ray Smith MD. That's info@DRRAESMITHMD.com. Email us. We'd love to see your questions. We'd love to be a resource for you. Those who are on the list, like I said, we're going to send out to you the information that we reviewed about the Akkermansia. We're going to give you the information about the Saccharomyces boulardii, about the Lactobacillus bifidobacterium. Also, too, you can get the free PDF, 10 Strategies for Restoring Your Gut Health. Thank you so much for joining us today on this gut health webinar, and we look forward to working with you to get your best gut health. See you next time, y'all. Bye-bye.